me. I spent my life a sinner. There's no more I can say, until I heard of Jesus and the stone he rolled away. I came to know this Jesus. He taught me how to pray. And as time passed, I knew at last why he rolled that stone away. The nails he took were meant for me, as on the cross he lay. He bore my sin, my soul to win, when he rolled that stone away. He wore a crown, his blood flowed down, then darkness hid the day. And as Christ died, was crucified, but he rolled that stone away. He died for me at Calvary, a debt I cannot pay. His pain, his strife, has changed my life as he rolled that stone away. I gave my heart to Jesus. I came because I may. He made it possible for me when he rolled that stone away. It all started in the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus went to pray. I don't think Christ really wanted to be crucified, but he obeyed the Father's will, and that's where he went to pray. Picture the scene at Gethsemane, the daylight almost gone, with Christ, with 3 disciples called Peter, James, and John. They slept beneath the olive trees when Jesus went to pray. It's there he asked his Father, was there any other way? To know you would be crucified, the pain you would go through, to know it was a painful death, we would be praying too. He knew they would arrest him for crimes he had not done. He stood accused of blasphemy, God's one and only Son, betrayed by teachers of the law. In ignorance they wallowed, betrayed by just a single kiss, betrayed by one who followed. Deserted now by everyone, his followers would flee. He knew his moment had arrived, fulfilling prophecy. They say that in the garden, the trees are there today, standing there as witnesses that Jesus went to pray. In the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus' feet once trod, who carried out his Father's will, stood the only Son of God. King of all kings. Who else could love you when nailed to a cross? Who else would die that you suffer no loss? Who else can touch you, remaining unseen? Who else can lead you to pastures of green? Who else can pardon and then save your soul? Who else would suffer, that's making you whole? Who offers you life that for us never ceases? Who mends your heart if you give him the pieces? Who else can save you from all of your sin? Who enters your heart when you welcome him in? Who offers you mercy without any strings? His name is Jesus, the King of all kings. When I thought of the Father putting his Son on the cross, I've got a son myself. But I told the Father I couldn't do what he did to his Son, I couldn't do to mine. O Lord my God, I have a son. I'm a father just like you. But I could never harm my son, what you put your son through. You placed him on that cruel cross. You let the nails go in. I know, my God, you loved your son when you gave him up for sin. You made your son a sacrifice, the only son of thine. I often wondered, in your place, could I ever offer mine? I love your son much more than mine, and here's my reason why. He gave his life that all might live, for you, my son, and I. I thought of Mary when she was looking at her son on the cross and what she was feeling. On a hill far away stood a mother, subdued by her anguish and loss, looking through tears of torment. She mourned at the foot of the cross. When Jesus looked down at his mother, he saw a mother who grieves. He knew everything she was thinking when nailed between two thieves. She heard every word that was spoken, the mocking that came from the crowd. She heard every word that he uttered when he spoke to his Father out loud. She thought of his birth in the stable, the time he was safe in her womb. Her son had now been crucified and would seal him in the tomb. She never thought the stone would roll. God's word can surely tell. Her day of sorrow turns to joy. Her son's alive and well. I'll finish with the grave clothes. I love the Easter story, the time the stone was rolled. But why on earth would Jesus the grave clothes neatly fold? I searched to find an answer. I could not let it lie. One day I found the answer. I found a reason why. It all came from a history book. A lady that I know had customs of a carpenter 2,000 years ago. When working for a customer, the custom then... I got cataracts coming and my light is a bit dim. Excuse me. It all came from a history book. A lady that I know had customs of a carpenter 2,000 years ago. When working for a customer, a towel was supplied. The carpenter was making sure his hands were clean and dried. When the work was finished, the custom then would be to dry off with a towel and fold it into three. The owners, on arriving home, would see it folded neat. They knew his job was finished and the work would be complete. As Jesus was the carpenter, those folded clothes must be to show his work was finished at the cross at Calvary.